You see the headlines, of course. They are everywhere right now, featuring the King and His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales, Prince William, supposedly attacking each other. But whenever you see a narrative that bold, you have to stop, look closer, and ask yourself, hang on, how true is that particular story? As many people who follow this situation closely know, these headlines often serve the purpose of none other than those situated across the pond. Really, the sort of narrative that they would like to put over is the fact that His Majesty the King and Prince William are at loggerheads. They want us to believe that the father and son simply do not get on, and that the monarchy is in such disarray that what is really needed is the placating return of none other than Prince Harry. You get the picture. It is a very specific story they are trying to sell. But the true story behind the scenes is vastly different, and it requires a bit of nuance to understand. The reality really is the fact that, yes, His Majesty the King is still battling cancer. With that battle comes the reality of having good days and bad days. Naturally, he can be quite grumpy at points. You can understand that entirely because, as you know, with illness you just feel good one minute and you don't the next. Anybody who is suffering from a long-term illness out there, or anyone who supports them, you know exactly what I mean. You have a moment where you think, you know what, I feel great. I could do that washing up, and then 10 minutes later you think, I can't be bothered. Am I right? That is the human reality of the situation. And that is the problem with these reports. Observers read that fatigue or that momentary irritability as a sign that it is difficult between the men, or that they are having clashes. Now, let me explain further, because this is a story that is going to gather a little bit more momentum as we go further and further down into the festive season. As ever, it is important to separate fact from fiction. It is good to see you all, and thank you so much as ever for joining me today. We have to ask, are you ready for Christmas? We are now well and truly into it, aren't we? Basically, there is not too long to go, although it seems like it has been going on forever. I don't know about you, but I am very much like a modern-day Scrooge. I only like the moment as it gets nearer the official point. Why do we need it all 4 months in advance? People know you can shop now, instantly. It is not like the old days where you had to get your Christmas cake and your mince pies ready months ahead of time. You can buy everything if you want at the last minute. And literally, the stores are open 24/7 anyway, aren't they? So, it is not as if you need the siege mentality to fill up on food. However, it is a bit different, of course, if you are senior members of the British monarchy, particularly this year. I mean, the planning is going to be rather tricky. Or is it? Much of the speculation surrounds the disgraced former royal, Prince Andrew, the Duke of York. There is no sign, of course, of Sarah Ferguson. She certainly won't be on site. What I can tell you regarding that is that it was mooted at some point that maybe she could be invited. But she herself apparently has now made other plans, and I think that is the wise and best thing to do when you think about the optics. It just doesn't bode well, does it? But of course, the bigger picture here is exactly how the royals are now going to spend Christmas Day. You see, every year we look forward to seeing them on the royal walk, going to church. It is just part and parcel of the British tradition. We have the King's speech, and it is very nice. It makes us feel that sense of tradition here in the United Kingdom, alongside, of course, carols at Christmas from Catherine, the Princess of Wales. But now there is a story circulating that Prince William and His Majesty the King are no longer speaking and are planning not to spend Christmas together. This rumor apparently all stems from the fact of the way that the King has handled the Prince Andrew affair. And remember, this really culminated at the Duchess of Kent's funeral at Westminster Cathedral. It was there, wasn't it, for the world to see William get away, and basically, it all felt very tense. William has certainly driven a hard line regarding where we are at now with the removal of the website details. But the king really has the final say. Was there any confusion? A little bit, I can tell you, but not as much as has been written about. Even His Majesty the King has basically thought, well, we have to act, we have to do something. And so many suggested he needed to put his foot down on the brake of that one. But that is a side story. So, where is this particular story of a Christmas separation circulating from? Well, the bottom line is all of the royals will be gathering for Christmas, right? So the story of them not spending Christmas Day together is technically not true. Let me walk you through what actually happens. They will all attend church together, as they do with the children, because that is part of the tradition. That is what the public expects, and the subjects want to see that unity. Then, they all disperse back to the main house. There are drinks and mince pies and coffees and all that sort of stuff. The big traditional Christmas lunch will happen. Catherine and William will be there, and the bottom line is they are there because they gather round to watch the king's speech. The way this is being framed in the media is that they are separated, but that is a misunderstanding of the schedule. Normally, what happens after that point after the speech and the lunch, people just disperse. This is what most families do on Christmas Day. Around 4:30 or 5 p.m., people start to get back to their own spaces because it is getting dark and the energy winds down. I have this confirmed from an excellent family member who will be attending. So, for all of those people saying the King and William are at loggerheads and that Christmas is ruined, truly do not believe what you read. The true story is that is simply the formation of the day. And like everybody, they don't spend the evening hammered together. Very quickly after that late afternoon dispersal, William and Catherine are going to be going away for a short break. And why not? If you can afford it, you take the break. The bottom line is the king will then carry on with his duties. It is a formula that has been in place for many, many years. So suddenly, why this has become a big story is baffling to many, none more so than those behind palace walls.